A very good morning. It's just past 8 this Wednesday morning. We are back again with another edition of Breakfast News. Remember, this is your one-stop show for all that matters, where we cut all the noise, get you facts as it happens on the ground there over the next 60 minutes. All the news from the world of politics, business, sports, entertainment, big focus on vaccination. That's, into day 5, especially in India, and over 6 lakh people getting vaccinated. Looking at vaccine diplomacy, India extending it to its neighboring countries. Also taking a look at Biden's oath today, oath-taking ceremony. That's going to be the big event that's going to be watched worldwide. We're going to have live coverage that's starting tonight at 8 p.m. But before that, let's begin with this particular program. I am Anil Thomas. With me this morning, my co-anchor, Preeti. Preeti, good morning.
Thank you, Anil. Good morning, and a warm good morning to all of you. Yes, indeed, it's a packed 1 hour ahead. We get you updates from the world of sports. We get you updates from the world of business. We get you international, national updates. Also, we let you know a health tip to make sure that you remain in good health and spirits. A packed 1 hour ahead to make sure your tea or coffee right in the morning tastes even better. First, the headlines.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi says India committed to help all humanity fight the COVID pandemic. Supplies of made in India vaccine to Bhutan, Maldives, Bangladesh, Nepal, Myanmar and Seychelles begin from today. Health Ministry says over 6,31,000 people vaccinated in the last 5 days in the country. Reiterates India's vaccines are the safest.
Over 6 lakh beneficiaries in Uttar Pradesh to receive financial assistance from Prime Minister Modi this afternoon as part of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Grameen. Prime Minister calls it a vital scheme to fulfill the vision of ensuring housing for all. Funds to be disbursed via video conferencing.
Netaji's 125th birth anniversary to be celebrated as Parakram Divas. Prime Minister Modi to join main celebrations in Kolkata on the 23rd of January. Several programs to be held throughout the year. Howrah Halka Mail to be renamed as Netaji Express to commemorate the great leader's birth anniversary.
In an endeavour to break the deadlock, Centre and farmer unions to continue another round of dialogues today. A meeting of Supreme Court Constituted Committee held earlier. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar accuses Congress leader Rahul Gandhi of misleading the farmers.
COVID-19 test mandatory for all the members of Parliament for the upcoming budget session beginning Jan 29th. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla says both the houses to function in segregated schedules, digital copies of budget instead of paper copies.
Joe Biden to be sworn in as US President today. Biden and Vice President-elect Harris attend a national memorial ceremony at the Lincoln Memorial for 400,000 Americans who have died from COVID-19 so far. In his farewell address, Trump celebrates his legacy, extends his best wishes to the next administration.
And in cricket, after a historic come-from-behind 2-1 win, India squad for the first 2 tests of the 4-match series against England announced. Virat Kohli, Hardik Pandya, Arun Sharma make a comeback. First test match on Feb 5th in Chennai. Well, those were the headlines at the top of this hour. Now for the stories in detail, starting first up with the vaccination story in India.
All right, yes, we get to the details now. The Government of India began today the supply of Indian manufactured vaccines to neighbouring and key partner countries. In keeping with India's stated commitment to use India's vaccine production and delivery capacity to help all of humanity fight the COVID pandemic, supplies under grant assistance to Bhutan, Maldives, Bangladesh, Nepal, Myanmar and Seychelles began. With respect to Sri Lanka, Afghanistan and Mauritius, necessary regulatory clearances is awaited. Keeping in view the domestic requirements of the phased vaccine rollout, India will continue to supply COVID-19 vaccines to partner countries over the coming weeks and months in a phased manner. It will be ensured that domestic manufacturers will have adequate stocks to meet domestic requirements while supplying abroad. Prior to the delivery of vaccines, a training program covering administrative and operational aspects was conducted yesterday. India had earlier supplied hydroxychloroquine, remdesivir and paracetamol tablets, as well as diagnostic kits, ventilators, masks, gloves and other medical supplies to a large number of countries during the COVID-19 pandemic. India has also provided training to several neighbouring countries to enhance and strengthen their clinical capabilities under the Partnerships for Accelerating Clinical Trials program. India had earlier supplied medicines and other items to many countries during the pandemic.
Well, in the series, the first consignment of 1.5 lakh dosages of Covishield vaccine, which is dispatched to Thimphu in Bhutan from the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport in Mumbai.
And reacting to the supply of COVID vaccine to neighbouring countries, Prime Minister Narendra Modi tweeted, and I quote him, "India is deeply honoured to be a long trusted partner in meeting the healthcare needs of the global community. Supplies of COVID vaccines to several countries will commence and more will follow in the days ahead."
Union Health Ministry has said that over 6,31,000 persons are vaccinated in the last 5 days. It has asserted that India's vaccines are the safest. Here's a report.
India's battle against COVID-19 has reached a decisive phase and has achieved significant breakthrough. On the one hand, vaccination rollout is breaking the chain of transmission. On the other, the country records lowest daily new cases in 7 months, which is in itself a big leap. There has been a rapid decline in new cases of corona in the country. The number of daily new cases recorded in the past 24 hours is 10,064, which is the lowest in 7 months. According to the Union Health Ministry, India's total active caseload has dropped to 2 lakh, which is the lowest in 7 months, while the country has recorded less than 140 fatalities in the last 24 hours after nearly 8 months.
देश में जो एक्टिव केसेस की संख्या है, ये वो लोग हैं जो अस्पतालों में हैं या घरों में हैं डॉक्टरी निगरानी के अंतर्गत, इनकी संख्या 2 लाख हो गई है और ये लगातार घट रही है। ये 7 महीने के बाद हुआ है। हर दिन जो कोविड से मृत्यु होती हैं वो अब 140 हो गई हैं। ये स्थिति 8 महीने के बाद आई है और प्रतिदिन होने वाली कोविड की मृत्यु लगातार घट रही हैं।
The number of new cases is the maximum in Maharashtra and Kerala, while number of deaths reported is also the highest in Maharashtra and Kerala. The total number of recoveries has touched 1,02,28,753. India's recovery rate has leaped past 96.66%, while overall case fatality rate is 1.44%. India's present active caseload now consists of just 1.90% of India's total positive cases. Talking about vaccination, the after effects of taking COVID vaccine is at a bare minimum in India.
Adverse event following immunization. तो अभी तक जो आंकड़े आए उसमें 0.18% is the adverse event following immunization and 0.002 is the percentage of people who were hospitalized following immunization. These are fairly low, in fact lowest so far as we know in the world in the first 3 days.
There is a robust mechanism to deal with any adverse effects post-vaccination in the country. The government has once again clarified that the vaccine is fully safe and has appealed to the health workers to take the vaccine.
वैक्सीन मिल गया, बना दिया देश ने, अपने दम पे बनाया, बहुत अच्छे वैक्सीन बनाए, 2 वैक्सीन बनाए और व्यवस्था ने डोर स्टेप पे पहुंचा दिया। और फिर अगर हम नहीं ले रहे हैं तो ये, और पर्टिकुलरली हमारे हेल्थ स्वास्थ्य कर्मी, हमारे डॉक्टर्स नर्सेस ये डिक्लाइन कर रहे हैं, तो ये दुख की बात है और मैं विनती करूंगा सरकार की तरफ से कि प्लीज अपनाइए।
It is very clear that both these COVID vaccines are very safe. Vaccine does not cause COVID-19, first point. Second point, vaccine prevents COVID-19, very clear. Third point, vaccines prevent COVID-19 deaths. This is very important. So the time to take the vaccine is now.
The countrywide COVID-19 vaccination program has been conducted successfully on the fourth day as well. The cumulative number of healthcare workers vaccinated against COVID-19 has touched 6,31,417 till 6 p.m. through 11,660 sessions as per the provisional report. With Nitendra Singh, DD India.
The Union Territory of Lakshadweep has reported its first ever case of COVID-19 on January 18th. Now, the index case is a traveller who had come to Lakshadweep from Kochi in Kerala on 4th January 2021 by a ship. The case had reported to a hospital with symptoms suggestive of COVID-19 and was tested positive. Initially, 31 primary contacts of the index case have been traced and quarantined, out of which 14 have now been found to be positive and have been isolated. 56 contacts of the positive cases detected so far have also been traced and quarantined. The Union Territory's administration has initiated disinfection procedures and intensive risk communication activity has been operationalized. Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has rushed a central multidisciplinary team to Lakshadweep to assist the administration in COVID-19 containment activities. The Health Ministry continues to monitor the situation and the Union Territory's administration will be provided with requisite support.
Well, let's now take a look at the COVID situation from across the worst affected states of the country, heading first down south to Kerala, which continues to report the maximum number of new COVID cases, 6,186 positive cases being reported on Tuesday. Besides, 4,296 patients were also discharged, while 26 patients died in the past 24 hours. Heading to western part of India in Maharashtra, where 2,294 new cases were registered on Tuesday, 4,516 the number of patients discharged, while 50 patients died in the past 24 hours. Currently, there are 2,18,058 people under home quarantine and 1,996 people in institutional quarantine. Going to Tamil Nadu, which continues to report a stable COVID-19 case tally, with the daily case numbers staying below the 600 mark for the third day in a row. A total of 543 people testing positive for the disease across the state on Tuesday, 9 deaths being reported, while 772 patients were discharged in the last 24 hours. Up north in the national capital, Delhi, where 231 new cases of infections were reported on Tuesday, 222 people were cured and discharged from hospitals, while 10 patients died in the last 24 hours. Currently, there are 2,334 active cases in the national capital.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will release financial assistance of around 2,691 crore rupees to 6.1 lakh beneficiaries in Uttar Pradesh under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin today via video conferencing. Union Rural Development Minister and Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh will also be present on the occasion. The assistance would include release of first installment to 5.3 lakh beneficiaries and second installment to 80,000 beneficiaries who have already availed the first installment of assistance under the program. Prime Minister gave the clarion call of housing for all by 2022, for which a flagship program of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin was launched on 20th of November 2016. So far, 1.26 crore houses have already been built across the country under this scheme. Now, under this program, each beneficiary is given 100% grant of rupees 1.2 lakh in plain areas and rupees 1.3 lakh in hilly areas. The beneficiaries of the scheme, in addition to the unit assistance, are also provided support of unskilled labour wages under Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme and assistance of rupees 12,000 for construction of toilets through Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin. Also, the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme or any other dedicated source of funding. The scheme has provisions for convergence with other schemes of Government of India and the states and union territories. And to get us more on that, our correspondent Arun Sharma is joining us. Arun, we've given a broad outline of the program today, which the Prime Minister will be attending through video conferencing. I would want you to spell out more details. How far would this give further fillip to the Housing for All ambition of the government by 2022?
Good morning, Preeti. Good morning, Anil. We know this fact that Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, is an ambitious scheme by the government of India to provide housing for all by 2022. Now, we know this fact that Uttar Pradesh is one of those states which has done a noteworthy job as far as construction of houses are concerned. Now, there are various other states like Madhya Pradesh for that matter, Gujarat for that matter. They have built, houses in a time limit manner. But important points to note that today is an important day for the people of Uttar Pradesh because Prime Minister Narendra Modi, as earlier in various events of housing initiatives, Prime Minister Narendra Modi again will be interacting with the beneficiaries of the housing initiative by the government. Now we have seen that the focus of the government is to construct 2.95 crore houses by 2022 as far as Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin is concerned, out of which close to 1.26 crore houses have already been constructed. So the speed at which the houses have been constructed has increased because of the technology. Now we know this fact that there are various technologies like prefabricated technology, prefab technology primarily, precast technology, whereby housing, slabs, the floors, the walls are constructed in industries at various different places, and they just assembled, at a place where houses are need to be constructed. And the government of India is providing a financial grant or assistance of 1,20,000 rupees to be constructed in a plain area, and 1,30,000 rupees in a hilly region or northeast region. So important aspect is that now there is also transparency because government can clearly monitor. This financial assistance is only given when houses are actually constructed. Now, earlier in the housing projects or housing initiatives primarily, financial grant or financial assistance was given, but houses were never constructed. But now there is a geotagging monitoring happening at every level. So whatever is the construction level of a house, at that point only the financial assistance is being released by the government. So today when we talk about Uttar Pradesh, 5,30,000 beneficiaries are going to get the first installment and rest 80,000 are going to get the second installment. So this second installment is being given only when the construction of house has happened at a certain point, and then only this financial assistance is being given. So yes, once that technology is playing an important role in faster construction of houses. So on the other side, while geotagging, government is monitoring and there is transparency, and then only the financial assistance is being given, and this is the idea of achieving the housing for all by 2022.
Okay, Arun, also when you look at from the time the work began to the deadline of 2022 that we are looking at, do you feel that the pace at which the work is going on, it's now in top gear?
Absolutely. Even the COVID pandemic time could not stop the housing construction part as far as Awas Yojana is concerned. We know this fact that Prime Minister Narendra Modi also started an initiative called Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Rozgar Yojana, whereby all those migrant workers who went back from big cities to smaller towns, in smaller towns or the villages, they were provided with the jobs to construct various initiatives of the government, be it the Sadak Yojana, be it the Awas Yojana. So all those migrant laborers were provided with work. So in that context, we can say that even during the COVID pandemic time, there was a rapid construction that took place as far as housing construction is concerned. Not only in Uttar Pradesh, we have seen earlier Prime Minister Narendra Modi participating in a similar event of Madhya Pradesh. He has also participated in an event of Gujarat, and in various other states also Prime Minister Narendra Modi earlier participated and interacted with the beneficiaries. The best part of housing Yojana or the Awas Yojana is that apart from construction of house, various other initiatives of the government are also being provided. For example, assistance for building a toilet for the Swachhta part is also provided to the beneficiary. Under the Ujala Yojana, LED bulbs are provided to the beneficiary. Under the Ujwala Yojana, a gas connection is also provided to the beneficiaries so that they have proper gas connection. So various other initiatives of the government are also clubbed together with this Awas Yojana, so that a livelihood or ease of living can be provided for the beneficiaries. And that's the idea that under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin and under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban, the housing construction can be done so that each and every Indian can have their own house by 2022. So that's what the idea of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And in that context, today's day is very much significant.
Well, thank you and appreciate you joining us, Arun, with those updates there. It's truly, a red letter day, especially when it comes to the beneficiaries. 6.1 lakh beneficiaries, they're getting the benefit of having a roof above their heads. And that's one of the most important things, especially when it comes to human beings. Roti, kapda and makan, you having, especially makan there, very much one of your basic needs there, very much above your head.
All right, we'll get to that program live today when the Prime Minister will be giving these installments through video conferencing. Meanwhile, let's turn focus on to other news now. Talks between agitating farmer unions and the government and round of dialogue will continue today. While on Tuesday, a meeting of the Supreme Court Constituted Committee was held, while Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar has said that Congress leader Rahul Gandhi is misleading the farmers. We get to all this and more in this report ahead.
The government is constantly trying to find a solution through dialogue with the farmers to end the stalemate over the 3 agricultural reform bills. It is making all efforts to reach out to the farmers to clear their doubts. Many rounds of talks have been held between the government and the farmer unions. The next round of talks is scheduled for Wednesday. While there is a continuous dialogue with the farmers for a solution, the Congress party is trying to constantly politicize the issue, on which Union Minister and senior BJP leader Prakash Javadekar slammed the Congress. He further said that the Congress party does not want the issues of farmers to be resolved. That is why they have adopted obstructionist tactics.
कांग्रेस नहीं चाहती कि किसान के समस्या का समाधान हो, सरकार और किसान की वार्ता सफल हो, और इसलिए वो विरोध अवरोध ये नीति अपनाते हैं.
Hitting out at the Congress, Union Minister Javadekar said farmers have suffered due to destructive policies of the Congress for the past 50 years and never got a fair share for their produce.
आज देश का किसान अगर गरीब रहा तो किनके नीति के चलते गरीब रहा? 50 साल कांग्रेस ने जो विनाशकारी अर्थनीति चलाई, उसके कारण किसान गरीब हुआ, उसके उपज का कभी मूल्य नहीं दिया.
Farmer unions have also said that the rest of the issues regarding the agricultural bills will be resolved only through dialogue with the government.
देखो, सरकार ने ये मानना है कि हम बातचीत से ही इसका समाधान निकाल लेंगे, और किसान ने भी यही मानना है कि हम सरकार के साथ ही बातचीत से इसका समाधान निकलेगा.
Meanwhile, the first meeting of the members of the committee constituted by the Supreme Court was held on Tuesday. The next meeting is scheduled for Thursday. The members of the committee will hold talks with the government representatives, farmers' unions and other stakeholders associated with the agricultural sector. The 4-member committee will report to the Supreme Court within the next 2 months.
हमने सभी फार्मर्स ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को सुनना है जो नए कानूनों का विरोध कर रहे हैं, जो कानूनों को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं. सिर्फ फार्मर्स ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस ही नहीं, बल्कि जो भी स्टेक होल्डर्स है उन्हें किस तरह के बदलाव चाहिए या नहीं चाहिए, या उनको कानून पूरी तरह से रद्द करना चाहते हैं, जो भी उनका स्टेटमेंट है हमें उनसे सुनना है. और उनको सुनने के बाद ये कमेटी अपना रिपोर्ट ऑनरेबल सुप्रीम कोर्ट को पेश करेगी.
While some farmer unions are opposing the new farm reform bills, there are many who are supporting the legislation. They believe that this legislation will benefit them and help them get a fair price for their produce. This will also enable them to sell their produce anywhere across the country. With bureau inputs, OP Yadav's report for DD India.
Well, for more on the story, we've got our correspondent Vishal Baristo joining us this morning, giving us more. Vishal, good morning. Vishal, give us the sense, this particular round of meeting that the government is going to have with the farmer unions this time around, how are things different?
Well, a very good morning to you, Anil. Yes, it's going to be very different because yesterday the panel appointed by the Apex Court held a press conference, and they said that they have a 2 months roadmap, and they're also planning to have an online platform for all those who are interested to talk. They are willing to reach out to not only to the agitating farmers, but also those who are in favor of these reforms, also to the state governments, to the cooperatives, and also to the NGOs. Now, this is an interesting move by the panel, and they are saying that everybody is invited and they are all willing to hear. They have 2 months' time. Now, today, the farmers would be meeting the Agriculture Minister. Along with him would be Kailash Chaudhary, the Minister of State, and also Minister for Railways, Piyush Goyal. And the very fact that the farmers are coming for talks shows that they are also interested in holding talks with the government. So the government is trying very hard to reach out to the farmers, to convince them through the apex court. Meanwhile, the agitating farmers have also threatened for a tractor rally, to which the Delhi police had filed an injunction in the apex court, and the apex court said that it is up to the police because law and order is their issue. So all these things are happening, and today the government is meeting the farmers. Yesterday the meeting was postponed because the panel was holding a meeting, their first meeting. So it is going to be quite an interesting day as far as this agitation is concerned, because the whole nation is very much worried about it. Cannot go on for a very long time because it's been almost 2 months now. Anil?
All right, Vishal. So we'll have to see how the day ahead pans out when we talk of this meeting. Thank you so much for joining us, Vishal, with those inputs. We'll come back to you again during the day once the meeting begins.
Well, that's a meeting that one needs to look forward to, especially, we've had 9 rounds before, nothing's transpired.
Yes.
This time around, will the deadlock be broken? And this time, will we see some light at the end of the day? That's what we'll get you all the updates as it unfolds on that particular round of meeting, especially between the farmer unions and the government. Well, shifting focus now to our next story. Well, Government of India has decided to celebrate the 125th birth anniversary year of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose in a befitting manner at national and international level, beginning from the 23rd of January this year. A high-level committee headed by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been constituted for deciding the programs and to supervise and guide the commemoration. Meanwhile, central government has decided to rename the Howrah Kalka Mail as Netaji Express. Here's more.
The government has decided to celebrate 23rd January as Parakaram Divas to commemorate 125th birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. On this occasion, Prime Minister Narendra Modi will go to Kolkata and will inaugurate an exhibition at the famous Victoria Memorial Hall. This exhibition will chronicle 125 stories connected with the life of Netaji. The exhibition will continue for 2 years. On the occasion, Prime Minister will release a book of letters of Subhash Chandra Bose. He will also honor the living soldiers of Indian National Army.
मुख्य कार्यक्रम है, वो कार्यक्रम कलकत्ता में है, जहां पर विक्टोरिया हॉल में एक कार्यक्रम होगा जो स्थायी तौर पर प्रदर्शनी 2 वर्ष तक वहां पर चलेगी। उसका उद्घाटन भी माननीय प्रधानमंत्री करेंगे। आईएनए के जो प्रमुख जीवित योद्धा हैं उनका वहां सम्मान भी होगा और बंगाल की धरती पर जो आईएनए के द्वारा दिए गए 3 और ऐसे नाम हैं जो अब स्वर्गवासी हो गए, लेकिन उनके परिजनों का सम्मान प्रतीक के रूप में किया जाएगा।
In the 125th year of Netaji's birth, programs will be held at his birthplace in Cuttack and places connected with Haripura and Tripuri on 23rd January. Also, year-long programs will be held across the country. A memorial of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose will be set up in Cuttack. Dekho Hamara Desh webinar will be organized to attract the youth. Cultural programs will also be held across the country. Union Sports and Youth Affairs Ministry will organize sporting tournaments across India. The beating retreat will include famous tune of Azad Hind Fauj, Kadam Kadam Badhaye Ja. Some flights of Air India will feature photographs of Netaji. A special commemorative stamp on Subhash Chandra Bose will also be released. Coins will also be released on Netaji. Special programs to be broadcast on Doordarshan and All India Radio.
एयर इंडिया ने विमानों पर नेताजी के चित्र लगाने का फैसला किया है। नेताजी के नाम पर एक एक्सप्रेस रेलगाड़ी रेल मंत्रालय ने तय की है। 5 भारतीय विश्वविद्यालयों में नेताजी से संबंधित 5 पीठों की स्थापना होगी। ये शिक्षा विभाग का फैसला है। नेताजी पर लघु फिल्म प्रतियोगिता भारत के लिए नेताजी के सपनों को कैसे पूरा किया जाए, ये सूचना प्रसारण मंत्रालय ने पूरा एक एपिसोड बनाने का फैसला किया है।
The Government of India has released a gazette notification related to celebrating the birth anniversary of Subhash Chandra Bose. The gazette notification states that in order to honor and remember Netaji's indomitable spirit and selfless service to the nation, Government has decided to celebrate his birthday on 23rd of January every year as Parakaram Divas to inspire people of the country, especially the youth, to act with fortitude in the face of adversity as Netaji did and to infuse in them a spirit of patriotism. Ajay Bikram Singh's report, DT India.
And it is also the 20th of January today, and it also marks the 354th birth anniversary of the 10th Sikh Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji. And to mark the occasion, Prime Minister has tweeted and has greeted the nation on the occasion. Here, the Prime Minister says, and I quote him, the Guru Sahibs have a special kripa on me, and the 350th Prakash Purab of Shri Guru Gobind Singh Ji took place during the tenure of our government. I recall the grand celebrations in Patna, where I also had the opportunity to go and pay my respects.
Well, the Prime Minister earlier had tweeted, had sent one more tweet. He said, I bow to Shri Guru Gobind Singh Ji on the pious occasion of Prakash Purab. His was a life devoted in creating a just and inclusive society. He was unwavering when it came to upholding his principles. We also recall his courage and sacrifice. The Prime Minister has tweeted the same in another language there. He's tweeted it in English as well as in Punjabi.
Yes.
उसके खिलाफ भी लड़ाई लड़के समाज को एकता के सूत्र में बांधना, सबको समानता, इसमें कोई ऊंच नीच का भेद न हो, उसके लिए जीवन पर्यंत अपनों के बीच भी वो आग्रह पूर्वक बातों को मनवाने में अपना जीवन खपाते रहे थे। और उस कालखंड को देखें, एक तरफ भयंकर क्रूरता थी, जुल्म थे, अत्याचार थे। गुरु गोविंद सिंह महाराज का मार्ग एक तरफ क्रूरता तो दूसरी तरफ वीरता का। उन्होंने वीरता का मार्ग लिया, जन सामान्य में वीरता पैदा करने का प्रयास किया। क्रूरता का मुकाबला क्रूरता से नहीं, क्रूरता का मुकाबला वीरता से करने का संदेश गुरु गोविंद सिंह महाराज ने दिया। आज जब देश की एकता, अखंडता, शांति, एकता, सद्भाव, इस मंत्र को हमें जीना भी है और नई पीढ़ी को जीने के लिए प्रेरित भी करना है। गुरु गोविंद सिंह महाराज के चरणों में वंदन करता हूं, उनके त्याग बलिदान को नमन करता हूं। वाहेगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहेगुरु जी की फतेह।
All right, a short video there by the Prime Minister wherein he talks of the valor, wherein he talks of the contribution of the 10th Sikh Guru in not only nurturing his own religion but also the country as a whole. And also talking of this Prakash Purab, it is indeed a very important day for the Sikhs all across the country and the world, and it is celebrated with great fervour and gaiety.
Well, moving on to our next story that's coming from the budget session of Parliament that's going to start on the 29th of this month. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla has convened a meeting with government officials discussing upon a smooth run of the budget session following COVID-19 protocols. COVID-19 tests will be mandatory for all the members of Parliament for the upcoming budget session that begins on the 29th of January. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla said both the houses to function in segregated schedules and digital copies of budget will be given instead of paper copies.
लोकसभा का बजट सत्र 19 जनवरी से 15 फरवरी तक चलेगा और दूसरा चरण 8 मार्च से 8 अप्रैल जिसमें सदन की 21 बैठकें होगी। हमारी कोशिश है कि सदन सुचारू रूप से चले, सबके सहयोग से चले। हम जनता की अपेक्षा, आकांक्षाओं, उनकी बात को सदन के माध्यम से सरकार तक पहुंचा सकें। इसके लिए हमने एक व्यापक स्वास्थ्य और सुरक्षा के मापदंड तय किए गए।
And after the controversy erupted over web series Thandav, producer-writer of the series Ali Abbas Zafar, in a statement shared on his Twitter handle, that they have utmost respect for the sentiments of the people of the country. They do not intend to hurt or offend the sentiments of any individual, caste, community, race, religion or religious beliefs, or insult or outrage any institution, political party or person, living or dead. The cast and crew of Thandav have made the decision to implement changes to the web series to address the concerns raised towards the same. They have thanked the Information and Broadcasting Ministry for the guidance and support in the matter. They have once again apologized if the series has unintentionally hurt anybody's sentiments.
Well, are you a fan of Banaras silk, or do you like collecting beautiful terracotta craft works? Or do you want to check out some indigenously made wooden toys as suggested by our Prime Minister? Or do you want to buy all these together along with the many other traditional handicrafts of Uttar Pradesh? You might want to visit the One District, One Product exhibition conducted by the government of Uttar Pradesh. Let's take a look at this report.
The One District, One Product exhibition is being held at INA Delhi Haat till 31st January. The exhibition showcases handicrafts from across Uttar Pradesh promoted under the ODOP scheme of the state government. These traditional products from 61 districts of Uttar Pradesh are arranged in 118 stalls. You will find a variety of products including the famous chicken curry of Lucknow, leather products from Kanpur, Kaleen from Bhadoi and Mirzapur, wooden toys from Chitrakoot, among others. Visitors have a very positive opinion about the variety and quality of products in the exhibition.
हम लोगों ने देखा भी है, प्लान भी है हम लोगों को लेने का, एंड ज्वेलरीज भी बहुत अच्छे हैं, खासकर ग्लास के कुछ कप्स मग वगैरह भी बहुत अच्छे अच्छे हैं जो कि हमने पहले भी लिया है.
सभी कुछ अच्छा है, यहाँ पर रीजनेबल भी है, ऐसी बात है, बार्गेनिंग हो जाती है. लोग यहाँ आएं और खरीदारी करें, वाकई मजा आएगा.
We've really enjoyed Delhi Haat today. There's a beautiful selection. We love all the bright colors, and we feel like we've gotten great deals. We would encourage everyone to come to Delhi Haat while they're in Delhi.
The ODOP scheme targets to generate more than 1.3 crore employment opportunities in the state. The scheme has helped to bring these traditional crafts to the front row of MSMEs. Under the scheme, one traditional handicraft from each district is handpicked and is provided with financial support, marketing and other supports. Renowned fashion designers are also collaborating with the program to give the products a new age look.
जब से यह सरकार आई है हम लोग को बढ़ंती बहुत ज़्यादा है, छूट भी मिल रही है, हर जगह हम लोग जहाँ भी जा रहे हैं हम लोग को हर सुविधा मिल रही है, कोई लोग हम लोग को दिक्कत नहीं है.
ODOP में हम लोग को पहली बार मौका मिला, दूध में बहुत अच्छा रिस्पांस आया यहाँ पर, तो अगर इन लोग का ऐसे हम लोग पे सहयोग बना रहेगा तो आगे हमें और भी अच्छा रिस्पांस मिलेगा. यहाँ पर लोग समझ भी नहीं, काफ़ी अच्छा रिस्पांस आ रहा है हमारी इन साड़ियों का.
It's a very good opportunity that ODOP gave us, that we got the place in Delhi Haat. We can't even imagine about it.
Some of these products have already got GI tags, while the government is encouraging others to obtain the tag for their products. Many products have made their places in the global markets through the scheme. The ODOP scheme goes in tandem with the Vocal for Local slogan given by our Prime Minister and also provides the artisans with the opportunity to expand their production and market.
वन डिस्ट्रिक्ट वन प्रोग्राम में पूरा पैसा गवर्नमेंट बियर कर रही है. लगभग 65 लाख रुपए का इसमें व्यय आएगा. शिल्पियों के लिए दुकान फ्री है, खाना फ्री है, रुकना फ्री है. बेसिक एमिनिटीज़ की जितनी रिक्वायरमेंट होती है एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के एक आदमी की, वो पूरी की जा रही है. प्लस एक हेल्पर भी अलाउड है साथ में रखना. तो इस तरह से 236 लोगों के रुकने और खाने का प्रबंध है यहाँ पे.
The exhibition showcases some of the unique handcrafted products from the state like Shazir, stonecraft from Banda and terracotta works from Gorakhpur.
The ODOP program have not only helped in protecting and developing the traditional crafts of Uttar Pradesh, but have also resulted in unprecedented growth in the exports from the state. The ODOP Expo here in Delhi Haat provides a unique opportunity to see and purchase all these traditional products under a single roof. With cameraman Anil, Shuhaib for DD India.
So that's the place one should go if you want everything under one roof, and especially a lot of traditional items there to pick for everyone in the family.
One district, one product there, so the weekend is sorted.
Well, the weekend is surely sorted, especially if one plans to visit there. Well, time now to shift focus, and after a look at all that's happened in the national, length and breadth of the country, time now to shift focus and take a look at all that's happening, all that's making news across the world in our segment Across the Globe.
All right, we begin by giving you updates from the US. Joe Biden will be sworn in as the 46th President of the United States, while Kamala Harris will take oath as the first woman Vice President today. On the night before his inauguration, Joe Biden led a national tribute yesterday for the 400,000 Americans killed by the virus, saying, "To heal, we must remember." Attending the COVID-19 memorial held at the Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool, Biden said that it is hard sometimes to remember, but that's how we heal. In a visual memorial for the victims, Lincoln Memorial Reflecting Pool was illuminated. Hundreds of other towns and cities took part in the tribute from their locations. Iconic buildings like New York's Empire State Building and the Space Needle in the Seattle were also illuminated.
To heal, we must remember. It's hard sometimes to remember, but that's how we heal. It's important to do that as a nation. That's why we're here today. Between sundown and dusk, let us shine the lights in the darkness along the sacred pool of reflection. Remember all whom we lost.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump released videotaped farewell address yesterday. He celebrated his legacy and extended best wishes to the next administration.
Embarked on a mission to make America great again for all Americans. As I conclude my term as the 45th President of the United States, I stand before you truly proud of what we have achieved together. We did what we came here to do, and so much more. This week we inaugurate a new administration and pray for its success in keeping America safe and prosperous.
All right, to talk more about it, our correspondent Abhishek Jha is joining us. Abhishek, the ground is ready, the stage is all set for Biden to be sworn in as the 46th president today. Let us know more, spell out more details. What do we look forward when we talk of Biden's presidency ahead?
Well, Abhishek, I would ask you to first unmute yourself because you're speaking. We can't hear what you speak. We still can't get Abhishek there.
Yes, there's an audio problem there.
I think we'll have to come back once again. Abhishek, we'll try and touch base with you once again, trying to get you all the details of that oath-taking ceremony. Remember that big action. We've got it all, an action-packed show that is packed there for you on DD India. Do not forget to catch that live action from 8 p.m. tonight and 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. So we'll get you all that, as it unfolds there in Capitol Hill. We'll get you all the updates there on Joe Biden and Kamala Harris taking oath as the President and Vice President of America.
All right, we'll get to more on that in a while from now, but at present, let's go across to our correspondent again. Abhishek Jha is joining us. Abhishek, as we were talking earlier, let us know what all do we look forward to when we talk of Biden all set to assume presidency today, take oath today as the 46th president.
Okay, morning Preeti. It looks like what a bitter end has been to the presidency of Donald Trump. We have seen how ferociously, how viciously this whole campaigning has been. Then Donald Trump, of course, tried to do all he can to retain his presidency, but in all this effort, he finally ended up with being the first president of the United States being impeached twice in his terms. However, now when Biden and Kamala Harris team is going to take over, Biden has a huge challenge of this corona pandemic, which has seen almost 4 lakh Americans dying. And also there is a huge surge of coronavirus, and how he's going to tackle this because with this corona problem, there is so many other problems that has also emerged in terms of economic instability in the nation, unemployment, and many factories have shut. So how he's going to deal with this situation? He has said that the moment he's going to take over the presidency, he will certainly come out with some new steps which in our perspective we can define as ordinances from the side of government, where he will try to reset the damages that the earlier presidency could have done, or the things that earlier presidency in leadership of Donald Trump could not do. So he'll try to bring on those new ordinances, and not on those new ordinances will not only address the domestic issues, but internationally also it is being widely spoken that he's going to reset all the international fiasco that Donald Trump's administration has done, both in terms of climate change, in terms of other strategic partnership, the allies that Donald Trump has almost lost, the NATO relation Donald Trump has lost here.
Okay, Abhishek, one word before I let you go, especially when you look at the legacy that Donald Trump leaves behind, what's that one thing that, you will remember?
Okay, so of course, talking about Indian perspective, we would say that Indian and USA relationship were quite close during the era of Trump, and it will be Joe Biden's team how we hope that India and US continue to remain in such close dialogue in terms of strategic, economic, and defense partnership.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Thank you and appreciate you joining us this morning with those updates there on the Joe Biden-Kamala Harris oath-taking ceremony that's going to take place according to Indian time tomorrow morning, roughly at around 7 a.m. We're going to get you all that action live as it unfolds on this very channel for our viewers across the world.
All right, let's turn focus on to now COVID-19 numbers. When we talk of the global update, as of now, more than 9 crore 65 lakh COVID-19 cases have been reported worldwide. The global death toll due to the virus has crossed 20 lakh and stands at over 20 lakh 63,000. Over 6 crore 92 lakh people have recovered from the virus. The United States continues to remain the worst hit country by the pandemic so far and has reported over 2 crore 47 lakh cases of the virus, with death toll surging past 4 lakh 11,000. Brazil follows US in terms of death toll with 2 lakh 11,000 deaths.
Well, Germany, meanwhile, extended lockdown until Feb 14 to curb the spread of COVID-19. German Chancellor Angela Merkel and states premiers agreed for that extension. Most shops, schools and non-essential businesses such as gyms and sports centers will remain closed. Meanwhile, the new measures include stricter rules on the types of masks that must be worn in certain public places and a greater onus on employers to allow working from home. German Chancellor Angela Merkel also warned that Germany may need to consider border crossing curbs if other European countries do not act to halt the spread of COVID-19, particularly its new, more transmissible variants.
United Kingdom has crossed another grim milestone. 1,610 people have died again within 28 days of a positive COVID test, which is the biggest figure reported in a single day since the pandemic began. The cumulative death toll of United Kingdom has passed 90,000. As per the government's figure, a total of 66,577 people have now received the first dose of COVID-19 vaccine. The country has registered over 34,66,840 cases of the virus.
Well, Californian health authorities said that the state's COVID-19 boom now is showing signs of leveling off. The state's positivity rate of 7 days dropped to below 10% for the first time in several weeks. California, with some 40 million population, has once again emerged as the leading epicenter of the COVID-19 pandemic in the United States. It alone has 30,55,000 cases of COVID-19 and over 34,000 deaths. The total number of cases in the United States stands at 2,47,97,690, while the number of fatalities are more than 4,11,000.
Spain has reported a record rise in COVID-19 infections over the weekend. The number of new cases measured over the past 14 days spiked to 689 per lakh population on Monday. Nearly 84,300 new cases were reported since Friday. With COVID-19 cases on the rise, hospital admissions for COVID-19 have also spiked. Spain reported more hospitalizations last week than during the worst week of the second wave. Meanwhile, several regional authorities have urged central government to introduce tougher restrictions. Faced with new record infection rates, Spain has begun giving second shots of COVID-19 vaccines to elderly nursing home residents from Monday.
Indonesia's President Joko Widodo visited the areas devastated by the powerful earthquake which hit the Sulawesi island last week. The president vowed that the government will rebuild homes and buildings ravaged by the quake. The government will give as much as 50 million rupiah for the rebuilding of the heavily damaged houses, while houses with medium and minor damages will be given up to 25 million rupiah and 10 million rupiah respectively. The death toll from the 6.2 magnitude earthquake which struck the country has now climbed to 90, while compelling thousands of people to be displaced.
All right, after all those international updates, we now get to Web Review. This is the segment wherein a colleague of ours joins us every morning to let us know what headlines he has picked up from the social media platforms.
Well, who do we have on board? Yes, Arun there joining us this morning. Arun, good morning. Take us through.
Good morning, Anil and Preeti. Let's begin the website review. Well, if you look at all the major newspaper websites, as far as the WhatsApp controversial privacy update is concerned, that's been, over there in almost all the newspaper websites. Now, it says the government to WhatsApp, it says that withdraw controversial privacy update program for Indians. Now, we know this fact that Times of India is quoting the sources and saying that government has written a very strong worded letter to WhatsApp, and it has asked that the privacy update should be removed for all the Indians. We know this fact that WhatsApp has come out with a privacy update that was till 8th of February. But after, WhatsApp was slammed by various users all across the country and the world, primarily, we know this fact that this deadline has been extended till May. But the kind of data usage that WhatsApp is talking about, that means even if anybody is not using Facebook, and if he or she is using WhatsApp, his or her data can be shared with Facebook. So these kind of privacy update is or will not be tolerated by the government. And of course, the government has written a very strong worded letter to withdraw the controversial privacy update program for Indians. Let's move to another big news. Now, this is from the pink paper, Economic Times. Now, it says that the Jan Dhan accounts cross 41 crore milestone now. This is by Finance Ministry. We know this fact that Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced this Jan Dhan Yojana from the ramparts of Red Fort and we know this fact that this was implemented record time, and today 41 crore people have been banked under the Jan Dhan account. Now also the Finance Ministry has highlighted this point that overdraft facility has also been doubled in recent years, and of course the Jan Dhan Yojana account has crossed 41 crore mark. So this is showing that how government is committed for financial inclusion part. So this is also being highlighted in various pink papers. If you look at the top trends as far as the business for the pink papers are concerned. Last but not the least, this news item I have picked up from the Pioneer. Let's also end the web news review with this Pioneer article, and it is said that picture speaks louder than words. If you look at the picture of the Pioneer, how this young brigade, the cricket team, is celebrating the victory. And yesterday, the entire day, there were top trends related to this India-Australia match. Even Prime Minister Narendra Modi, various cabinet ministers, various cricket legends from all across the world, they tweeted about this historic victory of India. That means the junior team, or you can say that youngsters, without the presence of the senior members, goes away with this victory at Gaba. And there are various trends like biggest moment of the life. It's Pant says so. Never ever underestimate India. So these are some of the big top trends that were trending all across the day yesterday. History makes or history makers. BCCI announces 5 crore rupees bonus for the triumphant Indian team and Ajinkya India. So that is what all was trending all across the day yesterday. And even today, various newspaper websites and Twitter articles are carrying this item related to this India's historic victory. So well, that's it in this web news review. But for the news, back to you, Anil and Preeti.
Yes, indeed, that should be befitting Arun, because it was indeed a stupendous victory for Team India. Thank you so much for joining us with that web review this morning.
Well, he set the tone for the next segment that follows, talking about Indian cricket. And in our next segment, we're taking a look at the Indian team that's been selected for the England series in Sports Camp. Well, the top story there coming from the team selected for the England Test Series. The All India Senior Selection Committee has picked the squad for the first 2 Test matches to be played at Chennai against England. The team comprises of Virat Kohli making a return as captain, Rohit Sharma, Mayank Agarwal, Shubman Gill, Cheteshwar Pujara, Ajinkya Rahane, Vice Captain, KL Rahul, Hardik Pandya, R. Ashwin, Kuldeep Yadav, Aksar Patel and Washington Sundar, the 4 spinners. The pacers, Ishant Sharma, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Siraj, Shardul Thakur, while Rishabh Pant and Ridhiman Saha have been selected as wicket-keepers. The committee also picked 5 net bowlers and 5 players as standby. The squad was named only for the first 2 tests of the 4-match series starting on Feb 5th in Chennai. The 4-test series will be followed by a 5-match T20 series and a 3-match ODI series that will conclude on the 28th of March in Pune.
Time now to get you the health segment. Every day we get to a health tip, but today we will talk of road safety. Every year, road crashes result in loss of lakhs of lives and serious injuries to a number of people. Up next in the report, we'll understand the importance of road safety.
Road accidents are a major threat. Today we have with us Dr. Rajesh Malhotra, Chief, Jayaprakash Narayan Apex Trauma Center, AIMS. Dr. Malhotra, what are the main causes if we talk about road accidents?
The single most important cause of road accident is the human error, and that could be in the form of being intoxicated while driving, or being very tired or fatigued, or being distracted when you are driving, and that is actually a cause which is bigger than anything else. The technical cause or the vehicular cause is a very small reason for these accidents.
How can a passerby support the victim of road accidents for transportation and in terms of first aid?
First thing to do is to see whether there is any persistent danger to the patient and the environment is safe. Once the patient has been extricated or is already outside, one must make sure that his airway is clean, he is breathing normally, he is not bleeding unduly. You can talk to him to make sure that he is alert so that he is not having head injury, which will make sure that his airway is alright, and also he can tell you which part of body is hurting. So if he points towards his leg, you can splint his leg because you know this leg has been hurt. So when you are transporting, you will not cause more harm or pain to him.
What are the measures that everyone should follow to prevent road accidents?
Each and every person should contribute to the safety on the road, and he should be a contributor to the safety culture. So if you see somebody who's not following rules, you must actually explain to him, stop to him. This was started as a movement where you counsel them, and instead of chalaning them, you should counsel them and tell them that they should actually not be a threat to their own life or to the life of others on the road.
Thank you, Dr. Malhotra, for talking to us. So when you are on the road, be cautious. If you are a pedestrian, take care how you cross the road. If you are driving a car, wear a seat belt. While driving a two-wheeler, wear a helmet. Maintain the speed limit and be safe on the roads. Kiran Bhardwaj, DD News.
Yes, be cautious and be safe on the roads. That was the health tip of the day today. Up next, we'll get you the weather.
Well, taking a look at the satellite image, of fresh western disturbance likely to affect western Himalayan region. And, from the 22nd of Jan, what does it mean? Under the influence, what could it mean? That we could see very light rain and thunderstorm in isolated places over Punjab and Haryana, Chandigarh and Delhi during the next 2 to 3 days. Also, a fall in minimum temperatures by 2 to 3 degrees very much over most parts of northwest India during the next 2 days, leading to cold wave conditions in isolated pockets over Uttarakhand and during the next 2 to 3 days in Punjab and Haryana, along with Chandigarh and Delhi today and tomorrow.
Dense fog is in isolated pockets is likely over Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Rajasthan, and also cold day conditions will continue over Bihar and in the next 2 days. Up next, we get a look at the temperatures across major cities of the country.
Well, running out of time as we say goodbye to our show, what do we have as our watch out image?
Yes, we get you beautiful visuals coming in from Finland, and this is about a show of northern lights dancing in the skies over the snowy forest and rivers of Finland. Take a look. Have a good day ahead. Bye-bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.